Okay, here we go. It is being recorded, so we're good to go there. I am so excited you guys are all on. I'm a little nervous, but I'm way excited to see you guys. So many new faces that I don't even recognize, which is nice that we're spotlighting everyone in the tribe now so we can get to know all you guys and your new faces. So just to start off, we just want to celebrate. Look how many people are in Success Club or so close to Success Club. And we're like, what, the 5th today? Is that right? The 5th of the month. And so that's incredible. There's a ton of you guys that are so close. And some of you guys aren't on the board yet, but you have a whole month to get there. So we're really excited and proud of you guys. We also have a bunch of new coaches that were added this week. So shout out to all of them. We're excited to be able to get to know everyone on the team. So tonight's call is all about how to rock a free group. But I want to start off by telling you a little bit about me. I know there's some people that already know me, but there's so many of you guys who have no idea who I even am. So just to start off, I am Ashley Watts. I have been coaching since January 1st of last year. So my first paycheck was the first week of January. So I've been doing this just over a year. I started Beachobdy back in September of 2014 and went through the transition and had my transformation and everything. I did Turbo Jam during that time, lost 20 inches, and that's 60 days. And Breezy reached out to me and asked if I wanted to coach. And it was something I was totally on the fence about. I had no idea what this even was, what it existed. I had no idea at first. Like, okay, I'll just kind of see what it's about and get my little foot in the game. But I quickly realized that this is totally something that anyone can do. And I love it. I absolutely love doing this every single day. My family, I am married. I've been married for about 7.5 years to my husband, Mark. And we have a little boy named Kyler who's 3, who is lots of fun. And then we have a little boy coming in May. So I am 30 weeks pregnant today. So it's totally possible to build a business in all different kinds of circumstances. I was very worried about this when I first started, if I could do it while pregnant. And it turns out you can. You can still do it even when you're pregnant, when you're working. It's just putting your heart in it and just showing up every single day. So that's exactly what this group is going to talk about, is how to run free groups efficiently. And I apologize, you're going to see my hands probably a lot. I'm a hand talker. Before I started coaching, I taught first grade for 5 years. And so I speak plainly. If you feel like I'm speaking to you as a child, I could be, because I'm used to it. So I just kind of wanted to share with you the value of a free group. And I was going, just before this team call started, I went through the last 3 months, January, February, and March. And I was looking at how many of my challengers came from free groups. And so in January, I hit SC22. 9 of those people came from free groups that they had done, 9 of them. Only 2 of them were people who were in my close friend, acquaintance, people that I knew before Beachobody even existed. So only 2 of those people came from my close network of friends. February, I hit SC24, and then in my husband's account, we had SC6, we had SC30 altogether. And 13 of those people came from free groups. And only 1 of those people were a close friend of ours or in that close social network of ours. Of those 11 free group people, 1 of them is now a coach. There's a couple who are discount coaches, but one's a building coach that came from a free group. And then this month, I am sitting at SC6. All 3 people who have signed up this month have been from my free groups. And 2 of those people are building coaches that just signed up. So there is so much value in a free group. And I will tell you from like right now, I've been doing free groups every single month since January when I first started coaching. So my group sizes have gotten bigger. My first group, just like all of you, might have 5 people in it. It might have 10 people in it. That's normal. Like that's what I started off with too. So when I talk about some of these numbers, you got to realize that I've been doing this, and every single month, almost every single month, my numbers have gotten bigger and bigger in my free group. And that's because I've been consistent. There's not one month that I have not done a free group. And Breezy, who's my coach, she that was one of her first fights, like, when are you doing a free group? And I say the same thing to my coaches. When I call them the very first time and I'm on having a conversation with them, the very first thing, if it's Wednesday, if it's Thursday, if it's Tuesday of the week, I say start a group Monday. Doesn't matter. Like, start a group on Monday, a free group. If it's a Saturday or Sunday, okay, wait till the next like Monday. But I always say start a free group. You have all the resources in the files tab that you need to start a free group. There's no reason why you can't. I can help you. You have all the material. Pick something that looks fun to you, something that looks interesting that you could do, and just invite your friends. Just invite your friends, let them know it's completely free. And so it is like possible. Anyone, you could be a coach for 3 days and you can start a free group. And I recommend that. Like, you guys are all most likely, since you're on the call, are building coaches. Like, you want to build a network. So start Monday. Like, you still have time. If you have not thought of a free group, you have time. You still have a few days to put something together. If it's 5 people, it's 5 people. It's 5 people you're helping for a couple weeks to get going. So that is my advice, is to just get one going. So we're going to talk about kind of the process of what I do. The types of groups I do. I do all types of groups. There's not a right group to do. I do total body fitness, a clean eating. I've done one of my most popular ones that I did was a run, walk, or train for a marathon. So literally all types of fitness levels could be in this group. It could have someone who just was a walker, just wanted to walk or start walking. You have people who are literally training for a full marathon in this group. And the way I ran that group is I just said, every day you're going to pledge how many steps you're going to take, how far you're going to walk or run, and they just made that pledge. So some people have like their Fitbits, and they're saying, okay, I'm going to get 10,000 steps in tomorrow. And that was perfect. That was their goal. Some people were, okay, I'm running 8 miles tomorrow because I'm training for a marathon. Like, they're in the middle of training for their marathon. So, like, you want to be able to target as many people in these groups. You don't want to, like, narrow it down. And it's okay to do every once in a while to narrow it down to make the, like, pool more fun. But you want to, like, expand your network. That's exactly what these free groups are for. And so, I've done a date your spouse while getting healthy. And so, like, we did different challenge groups or different challenges every day where you came together as a couple and you worked out together. But we did, like, the daily task was something that brought the couple closer together. So they'd write a note to each other. That might be, like, the challenge, but there's also a fitness challenge incorporated with it. So there's so many. I did a butt size abs. I did a one with like a recipe exchange, but I still added fitness. So it was like a total body fitness group with recipes. So everyone would post a healthy, and every day was like, okay, chicken. Post your favorite chicken recipe, the healthy chicken recipe. Today's salad. So post your favorite green salad. Pork. What's your favorite healthy pork recipe? And so many people like, I don't have any. Well, guess what? Let's use the tools that we have. You all have the internet. You have Google. Find a recipe that looks good and share it. So at the very end of the group, I compiled them all together and I sent everyone a recipe book. So they had days, they could pick some chicken, pork, turkey, like whatever it was. They had all these recipes. And so when you're trying to decide what group to do, you just want to do anything that like draws a new crowd. I wouldn't recommend ever doing the same group twice in a row because you're not going to get the same people. I just did that. I don't want to do that again. Like, that was fun, but like, I want something different. And there's nothing wrong with doing like a 10-day free fun group, but I would always incorporate some kind of health into it. And so don't do like just a date your spouse group, or don't do something just that. Incorporate health so people realize that this is a lifestyle change, that you can be healthy while dating your spouse. You can be healthy while taking your kids out to dinner, in a group, like, if that's what you want to do. You want them to know that this is a lifestyle. This isn't a 2-week thing, but this is something that's going to last. And we incorporate health into our daily lives. And that's exactly what we do as coaches, is teach these people how to live this healthy life, incorporating their real life into it. And so, those are just some of the groups that I do. And this is just a few. If you go into the files tab, like, there are tons and tons of different free groups that you can do. If you create one, just put it in the files tab so other people can use it. There's no right or wrong or, kind of group to do. And so just share what you have, and then your coaches can go through and say, oh, that looks fun. That's something like totally my personality. I could do that. So that's kind of what I do for the different types of groups. When I create a group, the very first thing I do is I create an event. And coaches will have different opinions on this, but me personally, I go through and I invite all my friends. I invite all of them. Some of you guys probably got invites today because I created an event today because I'm starting a group on Monday. And so I literally go through and I invite all my friends on my list. And I will tell you, the reason why I do that is I always have people I never thought in a million years would ever want to do a free group. They are a representative from another company. They are someone who's already living this healthy, CrossFit life and, top-notch shape, yet they do them. And so I invite all of my friends. And so I don't ever add them to a group unless they say that they want to be in a group. There's nothing more annoying, and I'm sure you guys have all had this happen, is different companies will just put you in a group you didn't ask to be in. And so don't just go through your friends list and be like, oh, she could use this, so this would be fun to have her. She's a good motivator. Like, don't put people in the group unless they say that they are going to the event. And in that event, just be you. Like, when you look at like the wording and everything like that, don't copy. Like, you all in this post, I'll show you how I word it. That's me, and they're here for you to have the idea, but people are going to see right through your personality. If it sounds salesy because it's not you, people are going to be able to read right through that. And so when you're wording these, think about like how you would normally word things in real life. Like, I'm a very like basic person. I don't use like big words or anything like that. And so if I was to try and throw these fancy things out, like, it totally wouldn't work. I'm not a creative person. I would die to be a creative person. I'm totally not whatever brain side that is. That is not me. I can't do it. And so for me, like, I don't try and think outside the box because it doesn't work for me, and people don't relate that to me. And when I've tried to be too creative, my groups have the invites have actually come down because that's not my personality. So just be you. And when you do it, emphasize the free. And so many times people hear the word free and they think immediately, what's the catch? Nothing's ever free. And so every time I post about it in a group, anytime I do anything, I always put the free. I always make it big words so people see free. Because people are always like, what is the catch? And when I create the event, I open it. It says keep open, but it's actually public. You open it to the public. I open it to everyone, so everyone can see it. I get lots of people who will add me as a friend, and in the actual event, I say, if we're not friends, add me as a friend so I can put you in the group. And so I'll have people who want to be in the group who aren't my friends, and so they see, oh, I just add her as a friend, and so I'll start getting people adding me as a friend who I don't even know. We have no mutual friends. They're from who knows where in the country, and it's just from leaving the group open. So I create that event. Here's an example of how I word, and this was my February free group. And so this particular one says, each month I do free fitness challenge groups done through Facebook. I do these as a way to pay it forward. I personally started my weight loss journey in a group just like this, and I am finally living the healthy life that I want to live. The group is 100% free, so again, I'm emphasizing the free. All you have to do is want to get healthy or stay healthy and want to help support and motivate others. And the group will be starting this Monday, February 2nd, this Valentine's Day. Love yourself. And then I always put, if you want, like I said, if you want me to add you to the group and we are not friends, just add me as a friend so I can put you in the group. The more the merrier. Feel free to invite friends, cousins, grandmas, etc. Just have them add me as a friend too. And I say, please share with your friends. Why not continue to pay it forward? And I will always get, people will share my event. In fact, today there was like 5 people that shared the event. More Facebook like friendships. Today, like alone, just from creating an event on Facebook and people sharing and tagging people, I've added 80 friends just today. And so it's all about just expanding your network through it. And register. Now, I do not let anyone in my group who has not created a free account and has registered underneath me. If they have another coach, I always say, how's that relationship going? How do you like it? I always ask who their coach is. If it's someone that is usually on our team, I just leave it alone. Like, oh, perfect. They run free groups all the time. But I do not let anyone in who does not register. And, you wonder how our paychecks grow. Well, these are people, I have people all the time who surprise me because people who are registered are going to get emails from Team Beachbody, not you, but from Team Beachbody saying 21 day fix, last day on sale, or 21 day fix, last day free shipping. And so they're going to get those emails. So I'll go into my account one day and someone's ordered a 21 day fix challenge pack, or they've ordered T25 by itself. So if they don't register, I don't add them. Some people won't register, and that's okay. They've added me as a friend, and they're still seeing my posts every single day. And so even if they don't register, you're still expanding your network through them just being your friend on Facebook. And so don't feel like they have to register and they have to be in the group or I'm going to lose them. They're still following you. They're still watching what you're doing every single day. And so don't feel like you're going to lose a sale if they don't register. They will catch on. And once they see that you're doing these groups consistently, they're going to say, okay, like this isn't a gimmick. Maybe it really is something that's just free that she does. And so they're just going to build that trust with you. And you'll get a random message, like one day, okay, like you're doing P90X, what is this P90X3? Like I hated P90X, but is X3 different? And so you'll get these random messages, and it's a great opportunity at that point now to start forming with them. It's not always that easy to form with people. Obviously, you have to reach out to people too, but these people are just people who are literally Facebook stalkers. And so they watch every single move that you're doing. And so when I register, now, if you are a newer coach and you only have 5 people in your group, I wouldn't recommend doing it this way that I'm going to tell you right now, only because it's not as intimate. But the way I do it, now that I have, usually I have about at least 200 people in my free groups now. And so I create 2 separate groups. I create a group, and I do this before I even create the event. I go in and create a register group where I explain the process of how to register. So when all these people are adding me as a friend who I don't even know, I can put them in the group, have the explanation, and it's right here. This is how I do it, and we'll post this, and you'll have the recording to see. But I go through, and all the people who add me as a friend, I put them in this group, and I tag them underneath this post so they see exactly how to register. I explain, so I didn't put it on here, but I would explain the steps right below how to register for a free group at that point. And so after they register, then I move them over to the official group. And so, like I said, I wouldn't do that if you only have 5 or 10 people, 20 people in a group, because it's not as personable. You know, you would want to find, you know, you can start forming quicker this way. But it's impossible for me or any of you guys when you start expanding your network to get those all. You can't talk to 200 people. You'd be on your Facebook all day long. And if you message too many people in a day, Facebook doesn't like it. So that's the way I do it. And I'd recommend it when you start expanding your network and getting bigger ones, but I don't recommend it when you're small still. Sorry, I'm not even reading the chats. I'm just get going and get nervous. So, I do have people that get weirded out. And the way I word it, though, I explain. I don't think I have it. Let me move on to the next slide. I don't. But I explain in the process that it's 100% free. You will never put in a credit card. You will never be billed for anything. And I explain that in the post. And if someone reminds me after the call, I will totally post my actual post. I just didn't want to make a whole slide of it because it would just be boring. I mean, these are long enough. But someone tried to do that. And like Bridget said, I do tell them that they get a free recipe book, 100% free, because they'll freak out when they get an email saying their order has shipped. I've gotten that because like today I posted it and I totally forgot to tell them that they get a free recipe book, and I had to add it because people are like, it says the order shipped. I didn't put my credit card in, but what am I being billed for? And they do. They get a free recipe book. So it's just one extra bonus to sign up for a free group. And so that's kind of how I get people into the group, get them going. And as soon as, like I said, as soon as they are in that group, and I do this before I add anyone. I put this post in here. So when they are added to the real group, everything is there for them. And someone, you know, before we started the team call, I asked, you know, what kind of questions do you want answered? And this is one, like, how do you get people to see the post? Like, I'm like, only like a third of them are even seeing the post. Well, I go through and I tell them, okay, number one, here's how the group's going to work. This particular group, like, you know, we're going to pledge what we do, what we're going to work out to every day. And then so you might pledge to work out to PIO. You might pledge to go for a walk. You might pledge to do this, whatever it is. And then I also posted a circuit for them to do that day. And so they had to do both. And if it was just a beginner, or, you know, I said, you know, if you're just starting out, go just walk. Just go around the block once. That can be your pledge. And or walk up the stairs of your house one time, whatever it takes, and do this circuit. And I say do it 3 times a day if you're capable of 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you can't do it every single meal, do it once. Pick one meal if you are just starting out on your fitness journey. So just gear it towards all of them, but make sure they know how the group's going to work. So that's my number one. And then I explain that I'm going to pin the post, and I explain in the directions, like if you're on your cell phone, you actually have to go and click view pinned post, or they won't see the post. And so that's there for them. It explains the difference if you're on the computer or if you're on a phone or device. And then third, their check-in, and so how they're going to check in every day. Number 4, I always put support, uplift, and encourage other members of the challenge, and then have fun. And then at the bottom, I put comment below with ready to rock if you are ready and 100% committed to the next 10 days. And anyone who doesn't comment on that ready to rock, I tag them in the post. So I know that they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And so they know that they have to click view pin post, or they know they have to do this or that. So I will actually go through and tag everyone before the first day starts to make sure that they are ready to go. And so I think that kind of helps with that question, like, how do you know people are, how do you get people to even see the post? They're saying they're not seeing the post. Well, that's how you would do that. So, like I said, these free groups are all about expanding your network. That's the entire purpose of these free groups. Besides helping people, obviously, that's like the number one priority. But the purpose of you taking the time out of your busy schedule to run these free groups and stay motivated is to expand your network. And so I'm just going to talk about that a little bit. How I get people. This is where I start getting a lot of people. So the first day, there's like 3 or 4 different assignments they have to do. This is preseason day 1. So this is going to be the Monday that the group starts. We talk about how we need to love ourselves, be you, and you're going to post a selfie explaining who you are, so everyone gets to know you. And by the way, these shots that you're seeing are all shots that have been in my free group. So throughout all these posts, these are all actual posts that I've done in my free group of different things. So I have them introduce themselves. I have them post a picture so everyone gets a face. And I think as a coach, it helps you get that face because you can see a lot and tell a lot by someone's countenance and who they are. You can see who's struggling. You can see who's loving life, I think, a lot in just a regular selfie picture. So that's the first thing I have them do on day 1. Number 2 is shout outs. Now, these are huge. This is what gets me the most amount of friend requests. You know, it isn't even the advertising for it, but it's the actual group in itself. So what I do is during preseason and even during the group, I do lots of shout outs where they have to tag me in the actual group. So before it even starts, I explain, okay, I mimic the ice bucket challenge that everyone did. We're going to call out 5 people. So they put on their Facebook status that they're doing a free group with Ashley Hansen Wants, because that's like my actual name on Facebook, and make sure they tag me. And they're going to call out 5 people to join them. And all they have to do is add me as a friend. So now, again, I still have that group that I've created that explains how to register that I can knock them into. And at that point, I start talking to them more because I have a little bit, more time because the group has already started. And so I do that shout out. That's like the very first day shout out is, okay, we're going to do a group. The group hasn't started. We're just in preseason, so you're not missing out on anything. Shout out. And the more I do this, now I think Angie or someone asked me this question was, how do you get people to respond to your shout outs? Like, people get scared to do it. The first few groups, I didn't have a whole lot. The more I have people do it, I have my repeat customers who've been in 4, 5, 6 challenge groups. Well, they have done it so long that people like to trust their friend. Okay, this really is a free group. Like, this girl is legit. She's really helping people every single month. And so I have them shout out. So don't be afraid or concerned if you are doing these shout outs and like you might have 1 or 2 people add you. Like, that's normal. At least it was for me. And so don't overstress that or overthink that it's not working. Try it of 4 or 5 groups in a row, and if not, maybe it just isn't something that works for you. But that's something that's been pretty successful for me in expanding my market. When they do it, make sure they tag you in the post. And like I said, I do this like throughout the entire group. So it's not just preseason days. When we do like the water challenge, like, okay, today you're going to do the gallon challenge, get a gallon of water in. I have them tag people to do it with them. And so when they tag, I can now go through and see all those comments that people have made, like, oh, that group looks cool. Like, what kind of group are you in? So then you can go through those messages, comment on them, or you can even say, add me as a friend. I can put you in the group, or we just started, or I do the monthly. You can be in my next group depending on how far along you are in the group. But you can expand your network that way just by having people tag you. They might not add you as a friend. You don't want to say add me as a friend every time, but have them tag you. My coach, Ashley Hansen Wants, is making us do, or not making us, but is having us do a gallon challenge today. And who wants to join me? And so, as people comment, because you're tagged it, you can go through and see and starting conversations with those people. Another shout out I do is, like, most of you guys in your 30-day groups have done like the like challenge where You might have them post to Facebook, all you have to do sit up for every like that I get today. Ready, go. I have them tag me in that post. And people are mean. They'll sit there, oh, I wish there was more, I could hit the like button more than one time. Or, people are always like totally into this. Well, at the end of the challenge, I now have them call out people to do it with them. I have them do it again. And I make them call out people. So I always say something fun like, hey, remember how you thought you were so funny when you made all those comments when I had to do a crunch for every like that I got? Now it's your turn. Who wants to join me? And I have them tag me in that post so I can see. And I have them post a picture. If they're brave enough, post a picture of you doing those. And so they can see that they see your name. And that's what really matters. And so they're going to remember that every time they're doing these challenges. Oh, who is this Ashley Hansen? Who is this? And so that's just another fun way. You can have them tag. Don't have them tag you every single post every single day. That's lame. But pick like 3 posts throughout your group or 4 posts throughout your group where you can have them tag you and just start forming relationships with people who you're not even friends with, and then they can add you during those 10 days so they can be in your next group. So the last challenge I always do is I have them call out some people who I had so much fun in this challenge group, and next time I want Breezy Bitter, Angie, like whoever to do it with me. And it's going to start on March 9th, and they can add her as a friend so you can be in the free group. So that's how I start expanding. The other group or the other preseason activity or post challenge, whatever it's called, that I have them do, I make them stand on a scale, I make them take their weight, and I make them take their measurements. And the reason why I do this is this keeps people motivated. You would be shocked. I didn't have them do this always in my free groups. I just had them do it in my 30-day or 60-day groups. But you will be shocked at the end of the group how many people say, I lost 5 pounds, I lost 3 pounds, I lost 2 inches. And so they see this motivation and they want more. They're like, this is working. I'm living a healthy life. I'm working out every day. I'm eating right. I'm learning things I didn't know about. And so I make them take their measurements. I do not make them share them. They don't even have to share them with me, but I make them take them. I don't have them do pictures. I tell them to take pictures, but for them, I don't make them send them to me or anything like that. But I do make them be held accountable. And that has been huge. That has been to keep people motivated and active in the group. Those measurements have made night and day difference in my group. And that's the only way I can explain it is my group started taking off because people saw what they were doing. And that has been huge. And then the last thing I have them do is I have them do this in my 30 and 60-day groups, is I make them post an accountability picture. Now, I do this a little bit different than a lot of coaches. Is some people say put a picture on their fridge or, wherever. One of the things that really helped me change my life is we were going to be going to a family reunion. And so I put 3 dates that were coming up that I wanted to look better for. So instead of accountability picture of like me or someone that I want to be or whatever, I had them list, or for me, they can choose a picture or they can choose whatever. They can put a calendar up where they can cross off every single day. So like when they're tempted to open that pantry or open the fridge or wherever, and I have them put like do more than one, like put one on your fridge, put one on your pantry, put one on your cupboard. So every time you're like tempted to go open the fridge, you can count it. Oh, I'm going to Hawaii in 60 days. There's no way I'm going to eat this in my cupboard, And that's been a huge motivator too for people. That's been a little bit of a difference. Just not posting a picture of them or a picture of someone that they want to look like or an old picture of them. So that is one way I've been able to keep my challengers motivated throughout the group. And they seem so simple, but these things have changed like night and day for us. And so for me, my group. So The question now is, and I get this, like, how are you converting your free customers into paid customers? Like, how is it going? And I will tell you, now remember, I've been doing these a long time. Not a long time, a year. But, like, I would get one, if that, every so often in them. And the way I've been able to do this is I start forming with people in the group. And I selectively, just like you would in a normal setting on your Facebook, I pick those who are actively participating. You're going to have, now I might have 200 people and I might only have 40, 50 people participating. That's okay. That's normal. But those 40 or 50 people, I can start forming with. So I start forming so early. And now remember, your forming, for those who are new, stands for family, occupation, recreational activities, and then finally sending that message out to invite when the time is right. And so I start forming, and this is like my tag message. And I always say, like, hey, I would check in with you. How are you liking the free group? Tell me more about you. What is your story? I just love getting to know new people. What are your current health and fitness goals? What are your struggles? And this has been, like, this opens up for everything, because they'll tell you their story. They'll tell you they're married. They tell you they have kids. They, in these intimate settings like this, I mean, they'll tell you, I struggle with depression. I just got out of remission from cancer and I'm looking to get back into it. I have type 2 diabetes and I'm sick of my medications. Like, they will start in these private, intimate groups where they start to trust you. They'll start sharing so much of them. And I mean, most of the things they tell you, most of you can probably relate to. I know there's a lot of people on this team who have had depression and gone through that. And so, when that comes up and you can explain, I totally know, like, the feeling of not wanting to get out of bed. I've been there. I've done that, I totally understand. There's so many things that you can relate to. I think that's why most of us become coaches, because we are relatable. And so, just start forming with those people early and throughout the group. Don't just form with them once and drop the conversation. Like, when they know that you're engaged, they're going to stay engaged into your group. And so when they know they can completely 100% trust you, they're going to stay engaged. They might not do every once in a while. In fact, I have one girl who's been literally in my challenge groups from day one, from January to now. She's been in every single one. She never checks in, ever. But I'll get these random messages from her, like a few months ago. She's like, my stomach doesn't touch the steering wheel anymore. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, I know I don't check in. I know I don't do this, but I'm doing what you're telling me to do every single time. And so you get these messages, she was on and I just lost the word, the sleeping machine. I forget what it's called. And at nighttime, and her doctor took her off that because she's lost enough weight where she doesn't stop breathing now in the middle of the night. And so, like, this is someone who I've been working with for a year. She's never joined my 60-day group, and I don't know if she ever will, but she's changing her life. And eventually, like, she could coach. She may not. I don't know. But I'm still helping that person, and it's made a huge, huge difference. And so just start forming with them throughout the group. And like I said, like, I will pick 10 to 15 to 20 people a day to form with. And I'll form with them one day, skip them one day, go back to them. So I am continually forming with these people. And those who respond, I continue to have deeper and deeper conversations with. And the other question was, how do I advertise my 60-day groups throughout the week or the week? For those of you who went to the corporate office, they talked about a book. And I hope I got the terminology right, because I don't know my boxing very well. But I think it's jab, jab, hook, or hook, hook, jab. I don't know. But let's pretend it's not. It's jab, jab, hook. And so, like, that is exactly the message. You want to poke them with little things that you're doing. You want to show them that you're living this life, that it's just not something you sell, but you live, you do, and you love. And so you just want to do this little, like, look at this. Here's me. Look at my bed head. Like, this is one I post on my Facebook wall, too. This is a real picture of me. Early in the morning, drinking my Shakeology. Obviously, I have mascara on from the night before. Obviously, you can tell what side of the, like, bed or the side I slept on that night. Like, you can totally, like, this is real. This is not edited. Like, this is real, and this is as real as it gets. And so, but I'm getting my Shakeology in, and I'm going to have the energy for the day. And here I am, like, doing my P90X, or this is T25 that day, or whatever it is. Like, I'm feeding them, and I'm showing them every single day that I'm living a healthy life. I will post a video of my workout. I will post Shakeology. I will post my meal that day. I don't do I don't post my workouts every single day, or I don't post my meals, but I just kind of, like, every day pick something. But I also show them that my life is not normal. I mean, it is normal. It's not perfect. And I will show the picture, those of you who are on my Facebook today, like, my kid threw a massive tantrum because I told him to clean up his toys today. And so, it totally, like, they need to know that you are real. You live a real life, that you have a chaotic life. Someone just asked, how am I taking workout pictures of myself? I have an iPhone. I don't know an Android very well. I don't even know my iPhone very well. But there is an app called Camera Timer, and it's literally, it looks like, the app looks like your actual camera that you have on your iPhone. And you can set it for like 2 seconds, 6 seconds, whatever. So I just hit it, and I set it on my TV while I'm working out. Or if I do video, I just will roll like different clips of my video, and then I'll edit it so you don't see me hitting pause or like play and stop every single time. So that's the way I do it, because I'm home alone most of the time with my little 3-year-old doing that. Anyway, so I post these little things, I ask questions. So especially like when 21 Day Fix is on sale, I'll ask questions like, who in here is struggling with portion control? And I'll make that a post. And so people like, me for like 20 years, or, they'll just say that. So then that gives me the opportunity to go in, like, I totally relate. Like, portion control has always been an issue for me, and that's real life right there. Nutrition has always been my hardest thing. I can put a DVD and work out, and if someone tells me what to do, I can totally do it. But trying to actually, like, if I had a chef, I would be like the healthiest person in the world. But that's hard. So I ask these kind of like questions. When I do post my workouts, I usually, especially now that I'm pregnant and I'm not actually following a routine, I will look at ones that are like on sale. So I might do the 21 Day Fix so they can see that, oh, that's like doable. Like, I could totally do that workout. And so I do that. And I'm just kind of like I said, I talk about my real struggles in life. I don't just always talk about health stuff. I talk about, oh, look at this picture. My son just threw Cheerios all over my kitchen floor while I was in the shower. Like, that's normal. And that's what these women are facing in your group. They're facing these same things. They're facing, okay, I had to go to work today and I didn't want to. So these are just some examples right here. Like, this is like a picture of me, so they know, like, when I introduce myself in the group, I explain my story to them. I explain that I have not always been healthy. Like, I was healthy at one point, and I lost it when I went through my depression. Like, I completely 100% lost my health. I lost, like, who I was. I didn't care about life. I explain that to them, and because they need to know that I have a story too, that I am not a perfect model. I'm still not a fitness model by any means. So, like, and I always get people who will message me and say, thank you for understanding, like, my story. Like, I've totally been in those shoes. Like, and so when we introduce ourselves in the group, I explain from day one, like, I am not perfect. I am a coach who struggles just like you. I am a coach who gets up every morning and has to decide if I want waffles or if I want Shakeology, in the morning. And so let them know you're real. These are some workouts. The T25 right here, this is me not wanting to push play in the morning. Like, we all have these struggles. And there's probably, I hope I'm not the only one, like, that struggles with every day, like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, my kid was up 5 times last night. Like, I have to go to work today. And so, and then I look at the Team Beachbody blogs, and I'll post like 10 popular diet tips to ignore, or 55 snacks under 150 calories. I'll post these things throughout the group. So it's just not the daily challenges. They're getting fed a lot of different things. So, and this is my example of a hook. So I will feed them, and then I advertise, bam, 21 Day Fix is on sale. Who's interested? This is all about meal plans and portion controls. I know that you guys have said you're struggling with portion controls. Here's my upcoming February fitness challenge group. Who wants to be in it? Right now they're running a social. They've heard me talk about Shakeology because they see me drink it in my posts. But look, right now you can get this whole entire program for $10 more than Shakeology. So then I always get people who are interested. So these are examples of my hooks. And I don't do this at the beginning of the group. I don't hook them at the very beginning of the group. And, I show that I'm doing these things and that they can do it too as they're seeing their results. And so these are just example posts that I do for that. The next question I got to is how to get coaches out of your free group. This is huge to get your builders. You are always going to have those people. Do you post to your personal page or other pages as well? What do you mean? For these posts that I do inside my group? Go ahead and answer that, and then I'll just get back to that one. But so you're always going to have those people who are instant motivators in the group. They're instant, and they will be your best friends because as your groups get bigger, it's almost impossible to comment on everyone's. Now I go through every single night, and I go through and I will comment until I can't type anymore. And I comment on those people's stuff. I say, good job, or I know that struggle. I know, some days we have to listen to our bodies and we have the flu. We can't work out, but get your nutrition in or whatever it might be. Yes, I do advertise to my free groups on my personal wall. And then I also put, some of these pictures you'll see on my personal wall too. So sometimes it's in both places. So Nikayla was just asking if I advertise my free groups on my personal Facebook. That's what I'm talking about. If I didn't answer that, just keep typing. But so I will reach out to those motivators from day one. Because you're just always going to have them, those instant things. And I just express how grateful I am for them, that they make it so much easier that, with 200 people, it's impossible for me to get through everyone. And I really appreciate them. And you'll see them step up even more. They'll have comments on everyone's now, because they get fed that need that they want, that they're doing good. And so from day one, I will private message those people and just say, thanks. I love that you are a motivator. I just love it. It makes the group more successful. It makes people have better results because they're excited that someone's praising them. And so I just kind of go over that with them. And then at the end of the group, this is one of those jab, jab, hook things. I message them and say, you are just amazing. Do you even know how helpful you were? I think you'd make an awesome coach. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? I absolutely love what I do. And being that you're a natural, motivator, you're already a coach and you're just not getting paid for it, And so then I introduce them, I'm doing a what if coaching group. I would love to have you in it. There's absolutely no obligation to it. You just see what I do each day from day to day. And it would be, then you can make the choice if you want to do it in the future, if it's something that would be a good fit for you. So that's where I get a lot of my coaches. Then I put them into the what is coaching group. They literally see, and I start, gaining better and deeper relationships with these girls. Or, I don't have boys on my team, but so that's why I say girls. But that's how I get most of my building coaches. Not always. Some of my coaches have come up from straight out of the gate, just from a post on Facebook or whatnot. But that's how I get my coaches from my free groups. And a lot of my coaches have stemmed from my free group first. And then they get a challenge pack and sign up and do a challenge group that way. In fact, I have a couple coaches who are on tonight who did that exact same thing this last group. And they're going to be awesome at it because they are those instant, motivating people. The very last day of the group, I put everyone in the group into I call it my Ashley Watt Fit Tribe group. And so I put them all into that group. And it's just a group that I post to on Facebook. It's just kind of like what I've done during the entire free group. It's just something that I post. I post Beachbody stuff. I post my real life. I post motivating quotes. I will have like a daily like random challenge. Hey, I'm doing the gallon challenge. Who wants to join me? And so I put them. So like this group right now has like 500 and something people in it. And some people will remove themselves because they're sick of the health group. But then I can also advertise for my next free group and say, hey, you guys are already all registered, you know, because they might skip a few groups and then they go back to it. This is not my like page. I post very similar things to my like page, and sometimes I literally just copy and paste because my like page is geared more towards like I'm going to pay to get more people who I don't know, where my Healthy Tribe group is people who already know me and they have already been in a free group, and so they can get together and they can they already have to have that bond in that group. And so it is not my like page, it is something separate. But that's been a huge success because then I can advertise again for it. Do you tell everyone to sign up for a free account on your event page or in a personal message? That is something at the very beginning I was just like saying that I would start by messaging them when you have a smaller group, but then having them, I do have that like big message at the where I put them into that first group. So if you have a small group, I don't on the event page, once everyone, like it's been a couple days and I know like most people have clicked if they're going or not, then on the event page, I will go through, add people who've already registered into as one of my customers, and then I will add them, and then I go back and post how to register in the event group itself. So that's how I do that. After my group ends, at the very end of the group, I still continue on for 3 days. So my group always ends on a Saturday. Sunday, and we always take the day off. We never have a challenge. But the last Sunday, I explained, you know, you have no challenge. Congratulations. Today I want you to post your biggest success of the entire group. Was it not drinking soda for 10 days? Was it being able to smile for the first time in months? You know, was it losing 10 inches? Probably not 10, but you know, like what is their biggest success? And so they like start seeing like, oh, and other people can see who weren't participating in the group. Oh, that person lost like 4 inches in that time. This person lost 5 pounds. Like I'm totally gonna do her next one. Like I wish I would have done it. And so other people who might not have been participating see this post and start looking at it, and they see, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I can totally do this if she can, and she can, and she can, and she can. You know, like even if it's just a small accomplishment, like being able to smile because they feel good about themselves, you know. So I do that on my Sunday post. And then the Monday after, so the Monday following, I always advertise for my upcoming free 60-day group. So I tell them exactly like, you know, here's my 60-day. If you love doing this, like you'll love doing a 60-day group where you're totally committed. The groups are smaller, so you get the more one-on-one help. Comment, message, or like to know more. And I always put the like there because a lot of people will hit like because they're too afraid to commit or say if they want to. So I message them and say, hey, I saw that you liked my post about the Mom Bootcamp. Is this something you'd be interested in doing? And then it gives me a chance to be able to talk through that. So I always post that on the Monday after the group ends. And then Tuesday, when the group ends, this is my final post for the group, is I say comment with all in if you're wanting to do the next group. This is like the post. I'm not going to read it and take the time to read it, but you can see it. But I wait till after I post my 60-day group, so those people who are interested have it, and then I post again that we're doing another free group next month. And so, sorry, I'm reading. Do you usually focus your challenge groups to follow a similar setup as your free groups? They are similar, but they have a lot more in-depth detail in them. There's a lot more challenges. But yes, my 60-day groups, and I do 60-day groups. I have not done a 30-day group in probably 10 months. I only do 60-day groups, and the last few groups have had really, really good participation at doing, like following it the same kind of format. And so, you know, and still with like getting coaches out of them, you know, those who are instant motivators I talk to and go from there. So I always have them comment with all in if they want to do the next group. And then before I keep this group open until my next group starts, and I'll do one more post in that group saying, hey, if I haven't added you to my next free group and you want to do it, put all in and I'll add you. You already like registered, you're good to go, just let me know. So I put those on the following one. And so that's all I have. I hope you're able to get something from it. And these are just a couple questions that I got before that I didn't answer. How many free groups do I do each month? I only do one, unless it's been a hard month. If I am at like SC2 and we're sitting, halfway through the month, I'll do one that last 2 weeks of the month. I'll do a second one to try and get to SC, at least SC5. My goal this year is SC10. So if I'm not at SC10 by the 15th, you better believe I'll be doing a second group. And so that's just the way. It's more time consuming, but in the end, it's better. My free groups are always 10 days. They are exactly 2 weeks. They start on a Monday and end the following Saturday. So I have 2 days of preseason, then we get into it. And so depending on how that group and how many I get out of that group will depend if I run a second one that month or if I'm good to go. My suggestion to you would be to make your goals set where you hit your SC by the 15th of every month. So that gives you the 15th through the end of the month to work on these free groups, to set up, okay, this is how I'm going to do my next one. When you're thinking about what you want to do for your next challenge group, you can be more creative. You can take the time to focus on these free groups or building your team. So that's like my big goal this year is by the 15th of every month to hit exactly where I want to be. So I can spend the last half of the month building my coaches and helping my coaches get more material that they can use to eventually build my team up. And then you have that time to sit down and concentrate and focus on exactly what you need to do for the following month. It just gives you that time. So I know it's not always possible, but I would definitely make that like I'm hitting it by the 15th, whether it's SC5, SC10, SC20, whatever your goal is, like 15th of every single month. So that's all I have. You can unmute. I'm sorry it went a little bit longer than I anticipated. But if you have any questions, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and I will try my best to answer what I know. Anyone? Okay. This will be posted. If someone will remind me, because I actually have a Zoom chat with my coaches, if someone will remind me, I can post like how I explained how to register in that process. I can post that on there. But if I don't do it, someone just shoot me a message or tag me on a post on the tribe page, and I'll be more than happy. And if you want anything else that I have or have any questions, feel free to just post it in the tribe so that everyone can see it, and I will post whatever. And we can get these slides. I can post the slides too, so you can go through and look at them. But like I said, my biggest advice would just be to use your own words, your own, be you, build you, brand you. So, okay. If that is it, and no questions, I will let you guys go. Have a good night.